Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks to the committee for hearing House Resolution 195. Just want to start out by saying many on this committee understand this already, and others will learn it over time. There's nothing like the passion of a mother with a sick child. And that proves the case for this House resolution. Once again, every year I present this. 5 years ago, a mother with a daughter who had spinal muscular atrophy in a wheelchair came into my office and said, "Can you help us?" And it turns out this 3-year-old, it was 18 months before she was identified with the terrible disease of spinal muscular atrophy. Representative Lilly and I presented legislation 5 years ago that every child, when born, when their heel is pricked for a blood sample, would be tested for spinal muscular atrophy. That law passed and is saving children today. If Lily would have been identified at birth, her quality of life would have been so much better. Now, for many years, she has been confined to a wheelchair. Every 3 months, she goes to Madison, Wisconsin for an injection in her spine. And what spinal muscular atrophy is, it's a disease that the brain, the neurons and the nerves from the brain to the legs is destroyed and does not grow correctly. So the brain tells the legs to move, but they can't because the signal's not getting there. This girl goes to Madison, Wisconsin quarterly to have an injection in her spine. Originally, it was a medication called Spinal, which is $750,000 for the shots. Now she's on a new medication it's kind of experimental, but we hope in due time that it will begin to connect those neurons back again and she'll have movement in her leg. 1 out of every 11,000 children is born with spinal muscular atrophy. So every year I like to bring it to the attention of the state of how important it is that we identify and we connect with the spinal muscular atrophy field, how devastating it is to these parents and to the children. The Galesburg Fire Department uses this opportunity with this resolution as a springboard into the September muscular dystrophy marathon or money-raising project that they have. And with this, we have Lily and her mom, Tracy, and the whole family is a part of this celebration as we do this. If you'd like to check on Lily's progress, they have a Facebook page called Longevity for Lily, and you'll see the cutest smile of any little 8-year-old. It just warms your heart to see Lily. And she's got a very strong brother in Evan. Sometime in families like this, we forget about those brothers and sisters, but Evan is truly a champion with his little sister, Lily. So I would ask for an aye vote for this House Resolution 195, and so we can have another presentation and a kickoff ceremony with the Galesburg Fire Department. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative Swanson. Are there any questions for the representative? And we do have one witness slip, proponent David Schwartz's self. Do you have a question? No question? Okay. Vice Chair LaPointe.
Good morning, Rep. Thank you for being here. Most importantly, thank you for your work to pass the bill 5 years ago that did the structural change that we need to identify this in infants as early as possible so that they could get access to treatment.
Minor one.
Feel free to sign me on to the House resolution. There's lots of conditions like this that when we don't catch early, it just makes life harder. And then access to treatment, as you've shown in this situation, is really difficult. So in terms of the situation you just described, I have one question related to that, and that is, because you mentioned the family drives to Madison, I'm assuming they live perhaps closer to Madison than another big city, or not. Are there places in Illinois where people can access the treatments that Lily is accessing?
Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your question. I will get you added. Unfortunately, this is such I don't want to say rare because 1 in 11,000 is not rare, but Madison, Wisconsin has a team that is specifically works on spinal muscular atrophy as their field. They were going to St. Louis, and the the family felt that Madison might be a better option. They went up and they interviewed. The family interviewed the doctors interviewed the family. And I know in my many conversations with Tracy, they are just so thankful that they found the treatment and care in Madison. Nothing in St. Louis, but this is something that is very regionalized, and there's people that travel many, many miles further than Galesburg, Illinois to Madison to get this type of care.
Thanks for that. And that's a story about having the flexibility and freedom to access the care where it meets your needs the best is critically important. And it's just kind of shocking that we don't have really high quality treatment teams for this in particular in Illinois. Thank you for sharing that.
And on your comment about the heel prick, we passed a legislation in May of 2017, I believe. My granddaughter was born the following November, and as I was in the where the babies were, and I talked with a nurse, I said, unfortunately, my granddaughter will not be able to be tested for this because it doesn't go into effect until the following July. But now every baby is tested. It's great.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. Seeing none, Leader Hammond moves that House Resolution 195 be adopted. Is there leave? Okay. With leave being granted, there are 8 votes in favor, 0 votes opposed, 0 voting present, and H.R. 195 is declared passed and will be favorably reported to the House floor. Thank you, Representative, and thank you, echoing the comments of Vice Chair LaPointe, thank you for bringing this issue forward.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.